Alright, boys and girls, let's go ahead and get started with our newest unit. So today we are going to be starting our new unit on decimal operations. So in this unit we will learn how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide using decimals. So before we begin this new unit, let's discuss what we already know about decimals. So in fifth grade so far, we have learned that we can split our numbers into two groups. One group being whole numbers and the other group being numbers that are less than a whole. And we divide these two groups of numbers with the use of the decimal point. And we know these numbers are divided when we use the word and. So in this lesson, I want you to make sure that you are using the word and. So even if we're talking about money, you would say $1.25 or $100.99. However, if we are talking about numbers as decimal points that are not money, you would use the word and you would use the place value that corresponds with the place value of the numbers. So for example, 1 and 2500 or 109 tenths. Okay, so before we begin, let's talk about these place values. So as I mentioned before, we have whole numbers and we have less than whole. In our whole numbers, we start with the ones place, and then we move to the tens place, the hundreds place, the thousands place, the 10,000s place, the 100,000s place, and then the million. And as we go up, our place value is getting larger. Unlike in our less than wholes, where we start with the tenths place, and that is the highest value, the highest place value in a number that's less than a whole. So after the tenths place, we have the hundredths place, and then we have the thousands place. Alright, so boys and girls, so let's begin our first day in decimal operations. So in this lesson, we are going to be talking about Sabrina. So let's read our introduction. Sabrina had a great weekend. Over the weekend, Sabrina spent some money as well as received some money. However, she doesn't know how much money she should have left in her bank account. So what are some key pieces of information that we need to pay attention to in this introduction? Correct. Sabrina has spent some money. So if I am spending money, that means that I am doing what type of operation? Correct. Subtracting. And also, it says Sabrina received some money. So if you receive some money, what type of operation is that? Correct. Addition. So in this lesson today, we will be talking about adding and subtracting decimals. So to begin, Sabrina had started her weekend with $50. However, her aunt gave her $25 more for babysitting last weekend. How much money does Sabrina have now? So to begin, we are going to add how much she started with the additional money that her aunt gave her. So one thing we have to pay attention to is to line up our place values. So the 0 and the 5 and the 25 are both in the ones place, so I'm going to add those two numbers together, and then the 5 and the 2, the 5 and the 50 and the 2 and the 25 are both in the tens place, and I'm going to add those two numbers together. And I learned that Sabrina has $75 when she started her weekend. Okay, and let's keep that same idea of lining our numbers in the same place value over to when we're adding and subtracting decimals. Okay, so feeling very rich, Sabrina went to the mall and bought a few items. What are some key words here that I need to pay attention to? Correct. Bought a few items. So that tells me what? Yep. So bought means that I am going to be subtracting, and few means that I'm going to be subtracting more than one. more than one item. So she's going to be subtracting and spending her money more than once. Alright, so to begin, Sabrina went to the mall and spent $34.34 at H&M. And I want to know, how much money does Sabrina have left? So to begin with, Sabrina has $75. However, she spent $34.34. So I know if I'm spending, then I'm taking away and I'm subtracting. However, Sabrina spent money that is in the less than whole spot or in the decimal spot, but she doesn't have any to begin with. So what would I do to make sure my numbers are aligned? Correct. You would put zeros in those place values. It does not change the fact that Sabrina had $75. It's just showing you that she had 75 whole dollars and 0 cents at that time. And after doing that, I can now subtract the $34.34, making sure that I'm lining each place value up. So I'm going to take away the $34 and the 34 cents here. So like the same rules of adding and subtracting whole numbers, I am going to have to regroup from the 5 to subtract the 34 cents from the $75 when I first began. So this 5 becomes a 4, and this 0 becomes a 10, and then it turns into a 9 to give to this 0, and this 0 becomes a 10. After that, I am going to subtract as normal. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. I'm going to bring my decimal points down. 4 minus 4 is 0. 7 minus 3 is 4. So how much money does Sabrina have now? Sabrina has $40.66. However, that does not end there. Remember, it said that Sabrina bought multiple things. So let's see what else Sabrina bought at the mall. So after spending the $34.34, Sabrina went on to spend $12.78 to see Harry Potter, 50 cents to play a game at the arcade, and $15.14 on Chick-fil-A for her and her friend Ashley. And once again, I still want to know, how much money does Sabrina have now? So I can handle this problem one or two ways. I could take that $40.66 and I could subtract the $12.78, subtract the 50 cents, subtract the $15.14, or I could add the $12.78 plus the 50 cents plus the $15.14, and then get my answer, and then subtract it from the $40.66. Either way will give me the correct answer. So I am going to do the addition and then subtraction. So one of the things that I want you to notice is, once again, I made sure that my decimal points are all lined together, that all of my numbers are in the same place value. My 78 cents, my 50 cents, my 14 cents, they're all aligned correctly. My numbers in the ones place are aligned correctly, and my numbers in the tens place are aligned correctly. So when I add those together, I get, what is my answer? Correct. You get $28.42. However, I'm not done yet. Remember, that's how much Sabrina spent, not how much she has left over, which is what I want to find the answer to. So to finish, I have to say my $40.66 minus my $28.42. Actually, let me go back. Yeah. Let me do that. Let me make sure it's a lie. $40.66 minus my $28.42. Once again, my decimal points are aligned. Each number is subtracted by the same number in the corresponding place values. So when I do that, how much money does Sabrina have left over after spending her money at H&M, at the movies, at the arcade, and on Chick-fil-A? Sabrina has $12.24 left over. Alright. And then finally, being a good friend, Ashley's mom or Ashley's parent came to pick up Sabrina and gave her her money back for Ashley's food. Now, how much money does Sabrina end the weekend with? So remember, Sabrina left the mall with $12.24. And then Ashley's mom gave her back $6.70. Now this, once again, you have to make sure your decimals are aligned. So I'm going to put my decimal down. And then I have my 70 with the other tenths place and the other hundredths place, as well as my 6 because it is in the ones place as well. And I'm going to add because she is receiving more money. So at the end of the weekend, how much money does Sabrina now have left? And Sabrina has $18.94 left over. Okay. Alright, so for your classwork today, you are going to be answering these 5 on your own questions. Like before, I will place the answers in the next day's lesson for you to review your answers. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me during our Zoom conferences on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock. Or you can send me messages on Google Classroom, or you can send me messages through Remind. And I look forward to seeing you next class. Bye-bye.